Yogi Nyatwa, the revolution, is that Munyadaki is sorry now. She can design it. This is the Yavo, this is South, Chini is a South. She can even carry it. Yama the same. Down is somewhere of how she can is down. The down the deeper time I have the deep and you are changing. Very down is your
Sayadaw says, Sayadaw has already explained what kind of disciplinary code you need as to become freedom fighters. To revolt all your mental disturbances, difficulties through the observance of disciplinary code and conduct as the foundation of your practice. It is also necessary to become truthful people, trustworthy people, in the development of the comrades, to have forceful power in your revolutionary act. Now Sayadaw would like to explain about the duties, what you have to follow in the way to revolt all those defilements, to get freedom in your life. According to the Satipatthana, now Sayadaw will try to explain the real act, how you should be real freedom fighters.
Satipatthana Satiya Taku Patthana Taku Eri Naku Pongsa Thare Kumpong Pali Zagava Eri Daga Sati Sura Maya Hu Patthana Suraga Kayu Tiri Tewu Ye Matapiti The Shino Ye when the girl shitty Swim ye the day. Pema there is a every Nasita Tama for it. I engage it. Sugar lean. I don't both are the Kajaro. Carry tea of my Yahoo. Then we name a piapido of my Yahoo. The shade no true and rather my Yahoo. David Chonari Chino. Chino true and rather of my Yahoo. I am of my piaget, either my piapini of my Yahoo. အိဗယ်ချုပ်လိုက်လို့ရှိရင်တော့စွန့်မြဲတော့အမှတ်ရဘူးပါပဲ
Sayadaw says, in the word Satipatthana, there are two separate words. One is Sati, another is Patthana. Sati means awareness, carefulness, watchfulness, power of observance. As you know, in your own way, mindfulness. But as I try to understand the Sayadaw's real intention to describe the Sati, that is the power of observance. Patthana has got different meanings. There are 4 elementary objects. To focus your mind: physical process, sensational process, mind process, mental object process. As the meditators, you have to place your mind very close to those one of the objects. So therefore Sayadaw says in Burmese, Kaiwe Tidi, that means which stands by, nearly to the object. Third, that means falling onto object, entering into object. Mapyat Piwin, the Burmese words are quite difficult here. Rushing forward without any break. And that aspect will stay spreading all over the object, covering nook and corners. So in this way, there are different meanings could be shown by the word Patthana. In brief, you can take the meaning as firmly standing on the object. So that is the brief meaning of Patthana. When you add the Sati word and you make the combined word as Satipatthana, that means the observing power stands by nearly to the objects. Falling on the observing power falls onto the object, enter into the object, and the third meaning is the observing power rushes forward to the object. And the fourth meaning could you get as the observing power spreads all over without missing any part of those objects. Sayadaw says, in that sense, your mind never withers away, never scatters away. It stays focusing on the object, covering as a whole. So in this way, the observing power stands still firmly on the object. That is the meaning of Satipatthana.
ဒီစကားစုမှာဒီသတိပဋ္ဌာန်လုံငါမှာဘုရားမြတ်စွာကစတိလို့ဒါတော့ပြင်မဟောပဲနဲ့ပဋ္ဌာနာဆိုတဲ့ဒီဝိသေသနာပုဂ္ဂလိချက်သွင်းမိကြဖို့ထောက်ရတော့ထူးခြားစေခြင်းလို့ပါပဲတာမန်စတိမျိုးမဟုတ်ဘူးဆိုတာအဲလိုထူးခြားတဲ့စတိဆိုတော့easy the
In the discourse of Satipatthana, the Buddha didn't use only the word as sati. He combined the another extraordinary word, specific word as patthana. That means the sati which the meditators or the practitioners are needed is not simple type of sati or mindfulness. It should have strong meaning following together to show the specific meaning of sati. So therefore the Buddha used the word in combination as Satipatthana.
Yeah, patthana phane pa ma pa be thana lak tin bo ti do tati. Di lo dei be ko ပြလို့ရှိရင်လည်းပဲမလုံလောက်သေးတာလည်းမလို့ပဆိုတဲ့စကားလုံးဒီမှာထည့်ထားပနဲ့ဌာနရုပ်ပြီးတော့ဌာနသတ္တတိကအဋ္ဌတိကိုညင်းရဆိုတဲ့အတိုင်းပေါ့စကားလုံးတတ္တအပူပေါ့လေထည့်ပြီးတော့တုံးတဲ့အတွက်အနေတိပဲလည်းပဲပူမူပေါ့လေလေးနဲ့အဲ့လိုလေးနဲ့လည်းဖြစ်စေချင်တယ်
And again, the Buddha didn't describe the word as thana only to show the standstillness of the mindfulness or the observing power. He wanted to show again the extraordinary meaning even in the word thana. So that means not just only stand still is necessary, but it should be more than that. To show that specific, meaningful aspect, the Buddha used again another word as pa. So the single word pa has got its own specific meaning. Whenever you add some new words with another word, there should be different meaning on it or in it. So in this way here also we can see the different types of deriving meanings, referring meanings when the Buddha used the word joining with the per in thana. So therefore patthana also has the different meaning, important meaning.
အဲဒီပဋ္ဌာန်းမှာရှိနေတဲ့ပတ္တတ္တရာကဝိသတ္ထအလုံးအကဲဆိုတဲ့ထူးခြားတဲ့အနေအထားတွေကိုသူကဖော်ပြပါတယ်
In patthana, pa refers the meaning as extremity, severeness. In Pali it is called Bhusattha.
လွန်ကဲဆိုတဲ့အနေအထားတွေကတော့မိမိတဏ္ဍာမှာကာယဝိရဏစိတ်ဓာတ်ဓမ္မခေါ်တဲ့ရှုခွင့်ရှိတဲ့အာရုံလေးမျိုးတွေကတစ်မျိုးမျိုးထင်ရှားပေါ်လာတယ်ပေါ်လာတဲ့တပြိုင်တည်းအဲ့ဒီအာရုံတွေကိုဝင်သွားရတယ်ဝင်ပြီးတော့အဲ့ဒီအမှားရတဲ့တည်းကြီးဟာအမြဲဖြစ်နေတယ်အမြဲဖြစ်ပြီးတော့တည်နေတယ်အဲ့ဒါပါလွန်ကဲတဲ့ဝင်ပြီးတော့ဆိုတာတဲ့ဝင်ပြီးတော့မပြတ်ဖြစ်နေရတယ်ဆိုတော့ဒီလေးတွေရဖောင်းလာလေးပေါ်လာတဲ့အဲ့ဒီဝင်ခိုးသွားတယ်ပိန်လာလေးပေါ်လာတဲ့အဲ့ဒီဝင်ခိုးသွားတယ်ဝင်သွားတယ်ဖောင်းလေးပိန်လိုက်ပေါ့လေအဲ့ဒီဝင်ပြီးတော့ခိုးဝင်ပြီးတော့သွားရအောင်ပြတ်ဖြစ်နေတာပြီးတော့ကိုယ်ရဲ့အခြားစိတ်ကူးစိတ်ဓာတ်တွေပေါ်လို့ရှိရင်ဒီတိုင်းအဲ့ဒီကိုခိုးသွားတယ်ကိုယ်ရဲ့ကောင်းစုအမျိုးမျိုးခံစားမှုတွေပေါ်လာလို့ရှိရင်အဲ့ဒီဝင်ခိုးပြီးတော့ပြတ်ဖြစ်နေတာဒီမူကြောင့်အစားရှိတဲ့သဘောတရားတွေပေါ်လာလို့ရှိရင်ပေါ်လာတဲ့ခါကျအဲ့ဒီဝင်ခိုးပြီးတော့ဖြတ်ကလေးပေါ့ဒီဖြတ်လာတာဝင်ခိုးပြီးတော့ပြတ်ဖြစ်နေတာကျောင်းသားကိုချမ်းလို့ပတ်တဲ့ခါမှာကျော်ရင်းနဲ့ချတယ်ပေါ့ဒီအမှုများလေးပေါ်တယ်ရှုပ်တွေပေါ်တယ်အဲ့ဒီကိုခါတယ်မပြတ်ဘိုးပြီးတော့ခိုးပြီးတော့ပြတ်ဖြစ်နေတာအဲ့ဒီလေးကမထွက်ရဘူးလို့ဆိုတယ်ထွက်လို့ရှိရင်ကိလေသာကဘုံရိပ်သာတော့ပါဘူးဒီမှာလိုဘုံလောကလိုဘုံရှိလို့ဘုံရှိလို့တဲ့ဘုံကခိုင်ပါတဲ့အကာအကွယ်တစ်ခုခန္ဓာတစ်ခုယူပြီးတော့ပေါ့ရန်သူကလုံရဲအောင်ဆိုရောပေါ့ရန်သူလည်းပဲရန်သူကလည်းမိမိပေါ်မှာဖွင့်မသားရအောင်သူကလည်းပဲသူ့ကိုပို့ကြည့်အောင်ဆိုရောလုံငုံတဲ့နေရာမျိုးမှာခုတ်ပြီးတော့မပြတ်ပေါ်လို့အောင်းနေတယ်ဒီအောင်းအဲ့ဒီလိုမျိုးပါ
Sayadaw is trying to explain how the single word per could give specific meaning. As the Satipatthana practice, there are 4 objects according to the Satipatthana. Physical, sensational, mind and mental objects. Among those objects, whatever object may arise, the meditators have to fall onto it or enter into it immediately without missing any part at the same time when the object is present there, as the physical object or as the primary object you have the process of rising and falling. When the rising arises, or rising is arising, your observing power should immediately rush forwards to it and try to get whole process as the rising at the same time when it is present there. When falling may arise, go violently towards the object with speed, not to miss any part of it. Try to observe with observing power as falling. You couldn't make any delay whenever the object is present there. In the same way, if there will be any kind of sensational objects, one of the feelings, try to get the feeling constantly, accurately at the same time. Try to dwell on it. Try to stay on it. Try to get the object as quickly as possible without missing it. And if there will be any thought, try to get that thought in the same manner. If there will be any seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting or touching, try to act in the same way without missing any object from your observing power. To show that specific meaning, how to get the object as a whole, as rising, falling, pain, steepness, tension, vibration, thought, thinking, idea, imagination, seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, and so on and so forth. Whatever object might be there, try to get the object immediately, precisely, concurrently, with full of awareness. So that is the meaning which can be shown by the single word per.
Edi kaya wulina sita dhamma khore ayun leche ukhaja ne du pogai ma bo di lo ma piat tet wen ni de amye ma piat tati phit ni lo shi ye di lo tati me chin jaw masaya ayun ne dwi do lo shi met mu lo ba akwet ma ta do Yes, yeah, they do. They were near Doga from that. A child did that they were from that. But he relates a lot. Oh, yeah, I will live of her. I remember, yeah, she might be in the ocean one. The degree of shit, I need the deeper sana. Such a စိတ်ကလေးကခိုးအောင်နေတာခိုးအောင်နေတာဘာမှနှောက်ရှက်မဖြစ်ဘူးနှောက်ရှက်ကလွတ်နေတာတကယ်လို့သာတတိမရှိဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ရိုးရာအတိုင်းလောဘဒေါသကိလေသာတွေရဲ့အပေါ်ကြီးအနေနဲ့ကိုအနိုင်ကျင့်ခံရမယ်အဲဒီကိလေသာချုပ်ချယ်ကဘယ်တော့မှမလွတ်တော့အခုမှနေတဲ့ခိုက်တံတစ်ချက်မှတစ်ချက်လွတ်တော့တစ်ချက်မှနှစ်ချက်လွတ်သွားတာပဲကိလေသာလွတ်သွားတယ်ဆိုတာချက်ချင်းပြောင်းလဲသွားတာလေချိန်မဲချိန်မဲပြောင်းလဲသွားတာအဲဒီချိန်မဲချိန်မဲပြောင်းလဲမှုရအောင်သူကကိလေသာအခွင့်မကောင်းဘူးသူက
Sayadaw says, when the meditators or the yogis try all the time, moment after moment, second after second, if their mind or their observing power constantly falling onto the object, rushing towards the object, getting the object without missing any parts of it, and have precise and clear, accurate noting, there couldn't arise any kind of defilements, any kind of unwholesome thoughts, any kind of dangerous force of enemy. It is really the cover to have protection and safety when you are trying to revolt with your enemies. Without cover, it is not possible to have success in your revolutionary act. So that is why in worldly fighting also, the soldiers are needed some cover in front of them to avoid the enemy's stroke, and to have effective power to raid to the enemy. Whenever you will have the observing power as the cover in your each and every noting, then the enemy of defilement cannot overpower to you. You would be free from the danger of those defilements. If not, if the observing power is not strong enough in each and every noting, if there may be some lacking, some gap in it, easily the enemy enters into it. Whenever there will be object to have greed, greed easily arises. Whenever there will be any object to arise craving, craving easily arises. Whenever there will be lustful object, lust arises immediately. Whenever there will be displeasing object, arises hatred immediately. So in this way, immediately after the missing of observing power, there enters one of the enemies very easily. Then they destroy you they win to you and they overwhelm to you to give lot of trouble to you. It is really obvious in your practice. As much you miss to note the rising object, so much the defilements become stronger and stronger, and you cannot control your mind. In that way, you will get in trouble, and all sorts of disappointment could arise easily, that why we cannot control the mind. And the reason is because you don't have the forceful observing power during the noting moment. To show that specific meaning, so therefore Sayadaw says the per word is used with the Thana.
Teacher Ayupoyama will be the objection here, so that before Ayunema will let silly Nikan. The same rule, the whole rule, when you speaking with the revolution of the Yanushia who called on Yaga. She did the same Chidia, same Nikan, same cheated. That is one you I did the one you tell you. Back and later, for what the tea to have a back and later, the same new view will be are you boy? The same new view will be for the tea, not objection. The same new the whole rule. I didn't leave it for the other.
Sayadaw says, in ordinary revolution, whenever you are trying to revolt and you are trying to fight with the opposite party, when from the leader or the head soldier order to you to move forward, you cannot make any delay. You cannot linger. Immediately you have to rush forward to the enemy. You have to have violent attack towards the enemy. You should attack with speed, constantly. You cannot stop and run. You have to run in the same force. You have to rush forward with the same force. Then only you could be successful in such battle, in such fighting. In the same way, when you are practicing, whenever there may arise any object, you have to try to attack that object violently, with speed, constantly, immediately, to show that meaning. So therefore, in the text, it is described Pakhanditva Pavatati. The observing power rushes forward violently with speed towards the object, to get the object without missing it. So that is the meaning which is shown by the word pa.
လောကမှာမကောင်းတဲ့အစဉ်အလာတစ်ခုကနေပြီးတော့ကောင်းတဲ့တန်ရှင်းတဲ့ဉာဏ်ဝေယဖြစ်တဲ့အစဉ်အလာတစ်ခုကိုပြောင်းရမှာဒီလိုအစဉ်အလာတစ်ခုပြောင်းလဲခြင်းကြောင့်အမြတ်ရနိုင်တဲ့အကျိုးတွေကိုရှိဘူးဆိုတာသိနာလေထားရတယ်နားလေတော့အကျိုးရှိပါလားဆိုတော့ယဉ်ကြည်သွားတယ်နားလေမှာယဉ်ကြည်တာနားမလဲယဉ်ကြည်ယုံကြည်ပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အဲ့ဒီလိုမကောင်းတဲ့အစဉ်ကမကောင်းတဲ့အချုပ်ချယ်ကြီးရဲ့လုံးရောက်လူရဲ့ဆန္ဒကလည်းပဲရှိရမယ်အသက်နဲ့လဲရင်လဲရပြီလုံးရောက်ပြီးရောဆိုပြီးတော့အဲ့ဒီဆန္ဒမျိုးလည်းရှိရတယ်ဆန္ဒရှိထားတော့ခွင့်ကြုံလာပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ရဲရဲရင်လည်းရှိရတယ်တွတ်ဆုံနဲ့ပြန်တွေ့လို့ရှိရင်ကြောက်ခံလည်းလုပ်လို့မရဘူးဘုရားလည်းရှိရတယ်ရဲရဲလည်းရှိရတယ်ရဲမှုရှိလာလို့ရှိရင်သူ့နေရာနဲ့သူပဲကောနာတတိဆိုတာတစ်ချိန်လုံးတတိဆိုတာဖြစ်ပေါ်လာတယ်ဒါပဲကျိုးပြရတဲ့အာရုံလေးနဲ့ဆက်ပြီးတော့တတိမဲ့လို့ဖြစ်နိုင်တဲ့ကိလေသာတွေအချုပ်ချယ်မှလို့ရင်ကောင်းတယ်ဆိုတော့ကာဝေပြီးကောင်းတယ်လုံချုံပြီးကောင်းတယ်ပြီးကြရင်ကောင်းတယ်အဲ့လိုဖြစ်နေလို့ရှိရင်ပျော်ရွှင်ချမ်းမြေ့မှုအပြည့်ရနိုင်တယ်ဆိုတာကိုဒီလိုနားလည်ထားတယ်။နားလည်ထားတော့ဒီဘောလုံးယုံကြည်ပြီးပေါ့ဒီယုံကြည်ဒီလမ်းစဉ်ပေါ်မှာလည်းယုံကြည်ပြီးပေါ့ယုံကြည်လို့ရှိရင်တကယ်ကိုချုပ်ချယ်ဣတိတာချုပ်ချယ်လေးကလူမျိုးတွေဆန္ဒနဲ့ပြင်းပြတာလေဣတိတာကြီးကလူရင်ပြီးရဘာပဲဖြစ်ရဆိုတာကိုယ်ရဲ့အသက်အနည်းကိုရှိမရှိတော့စွန့်စားတဲ့ဘဝကြီးဆိုတာလည်းရှိပါလားအဲ့ဒီလိုတတ်တာသတ္တဆန္ဒဝိရိယဆိုတာပဲဒါလေးကြီးရှိပါတယ်ကောတတိနဲ့တစ်ချိန်လုံးပေါ်ရအိုင်းပြီးတော့တခုလုံးပေါ်ပြီးတော့တတ္တကပြောညံ့နေမယ်ဆိုရင်ဒါလုံငါရဲ့အကျိုးကိုနားမလည်ဘူးဒီကိလေသာရဲ့လုံရောက်လုံငါရဲ့အကျိုးနားမလည်ဘူးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တတ္တလည်းဖြစ်ဘူးနည်းနည်းနားလည်းနည်းနည်းဖြစ်မှာပဲများများနားနေရတယ်သာတိရများများနားလည်းများများနားနေထားတော့တတ္တလည်းအပြည့်ပေါ့အဲလိုမျိုးကြားဖြစ်လာဆန္ဒလည်းတကယ်လို့လို့ရှိရင်ဖြစ်လာဘာပဲဖြစ်ရပေါ့ဒီအတင်းရဲရင်ပေါ့ဒီကိုယ်နဲ့တည်းနဲ့ပဲဖြစ်နေစွန့်စားမယ်ဆိုတဲ့ဝိရိယတွေဖြစ်တာဝိရိယဖြစ်တာဒီလိုတစ်ချိန်လို့ဆိုတဲ့တတိဟာပေါ်ရအောင်လို့ပေါ့အဲဒါဘုံဝင်တယ်ပြေဝင်တယ်လို့ဖြစ်ဖြစ်ပါဒါဒီစား
Sayadaw says in ordinary life if you have strong wish and will to have good society, better society, and you want to bring the reformation in the society, at first it is necessary to understand the disadvantage of the old behaviors, unhealthy behaviors, unhealthy customs, unhealthy habits of the society. If you really understand how important to reform the society to bring the good behavior, better conduct in the society, and if you can see the real benefit of that reformation, then only there will be strong confidence or conviction in your act, in your process of reformation. If you don't have such understanding, if you couldn't see the defect and the best effect of the reformation, you cannot have strong desire to do. So therefore Sayadaw says, at first it is necessary to see clearly and to have proper understanding how much benefit you will get, you will gain through the reformation. If you really know the benefit of the reformation, then you never get back from your act. You go forward without any hesitation, without any doubt, without any confusion, without any fear. You will have heroism in your act. And when that heroic behavior will be there, not to have any mistake, you try to do the work to have the better result in your reformation work. So in this way you could succeed to bring the better society. In the same way in practice also. At first it is necessary to understand and clearly see the disadvantage of not having proper observing power in your practice. Whenever you are lacking that power, there are defilements attacking you to get down your position. So you need to see clearly how those defilements are there to disturb you, to put you in trouble. And you should try to know how much benefit you will get if you can drive away that force of defilement with possessing the strong observing power. And if you see clearly, whenever the observing power is following, you can drive away your defilements as the enemy, big enemy, and you can see the benefit of it, how clear your mind, how peaceful your mind, how calm your mind, how lovely your mind. That seeing, that understanding brings the faith, confidence and conviction in your practice. As much you develop the confidence, so much you become strong enough to do the practice. You never hesitate at that moment. You never get afraid of noting any object, whether it may be severe type of painful sensations. You don't afraid of dying yourself. You never take care about your body. Let it be. I will try to note it. So that forceful energy will come in your mind. You will become a real hero at that time. With the fulfillment of that heroic behavior, that is why it is called perseverance or effort. In Pali, virya, that means who has the heroic deeds. or which has the heroic deed, never getting afraid of the nature of boldness. That is why the effort is called virya. And that effort will be there because your desire to do is so strong enough. You can see the benefit of it. And when you have such effort, then the attacking power immediately with speed will be there as the observing power. So you never miss any object each and every moment, second after second, noting after noting. That is why Sayadaw says you should have that kind of powerful observance through which you cannot get any delay. You don't linger to note the object. With speed, you jump onto it, you fall into it, you get the object immediately. No defilement could arise at that time to attack you and to put you down. You win the battle.
ရေးရမယ်ဆိုတာကကိုယ်နဲ့တည်းမငဲ့ကိုရဘူးပြောတာကိုယ်နဲ့တည်းမငဲ့ကိုရဘူးဆိုတာကိုယ်နာမှာအသက်တည်မှာမကြောက်ရဘူး